Like, Punk just does not care what anybody thinks about him. You know, he's the opposite. He's so the opposite of The Rock. Like, you could tell, like, The Rock, those boos bother him. He makes sure to say, don't forget, I'm just a character. This is not the real me. Like, this is a character I play on TV, but off of TV, that's not who I am. But CM Punk, this is who I am all the time. You know what, Drew McIntyre, you're a heel. What you say, I don't give a shit. Seth Rollins, what you say, I don't give a shit. Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, you guys are two of the biggest baby faces in the country. I don't give a shit what you think about me. Rock chases the hug. CM Punk does not want a hug from anybody.
Punk is able to do something that not a lot of wrestlers, I don't really know of any other wrestler who can use tone the way Punk does. It's glaring to me. I hear the tone changes with Punk, and it's the tone changes that really sell Punk on what he's saying. I don't hear anybody do it as well as Punk. Last night, Punk's tone said everything to me.
He has a gift that very few wrestlers in the history of this sport have been able to do. Like, you talk about somebody resonating with a fan base. He's been able to do that. And think about it, Bully, like, the only example of where you can go opposite of that is probably in his time with AEW. By the time he was leaving AEW, the fans were booing CM Punk. I mean, I was there. I saw it firsthand, where the fans kind of turned on CM Punk. This WWE fan base, where you think about it, Bully, they have every reason to dislike CM Punk. Leaving the company, bad-mouthing the company. Who he stands, he was just in a feud with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is one of the most popular wrestlers in the WWE. Last night, he's standing across from Cody Rhodes. We talked about Cody. Like, they are never going to turn Cody heel right now, because look at the business the WWE is doing because of Cody. But somehow, some way, Punk could stand in front of those people and get those fans to believe in him and chant his name and cheer him. It's a gift that very few wrestlers have been able to possess.
Not only can he do all the things that we've been talking about, he can command their attention like not many others can. What did you hear in the arena last night when CM Punk was doing the majority of the talking in that promo?
A lot of the times was silence. People were listening to what he had to say.
Ding, ding, ding. Circle gets the square. Silence. Like genuine, real silence. Like, don't move. Don't say a word, because we're listening that intently. That's a gift. That tells me, that silence speaks volumes to me, because that silence tells me we want to hear what you have to say. No what chance, almost no reaction to anything, because I'm listening so intently. I know that when I'm engaged in a conversation with somebody, I won't react at all. Like my eyes, my facials, nothing, because I'm locked in and I'm listening so intently. That's what 16,000 people were doing last night. You don't get that with wrestling promos. You get people trying to hijack, or the what chance, or you hear things in the background. People were seated and listening, as attentive as they could possibly be. And that's why it all worked last night, because you wanted to hear what Punk had to say, and you wanted to hear how Cody was going to come back. And I want to ask you this. I want to ask you about an emotion. When you heard Cody's first words come out of his mouth, whether it was the actual words, whether it was the volume, the tone, the inflection, anything about it, did anything resonate with you? Did you feel any emotion?
I did. I thought last night with Cody, for me, was unlike even some of the promos that we heard from Cody with The Rock. And I used the word promo. I didn't think last night was a promo. Like I think this is why you heard complete silence during that segment last night. It sounded like a conversation. It sounded like a conversation between Cody and Punk that like I shouldn't be hearing this. This isn't for me. They're not doing this for my benefit. It's almost like when they were talking, they forgot there was an audience in the house.
Cody's tone and volume and the gruff or the bass in his voice told me that he seemed defeated and exhausted. And that's what Punk was trying to kind of tell him. This is starting to take it out of you, kid. You ain't sleeping at night because of everything that goes on with the responsibility of becoming the world champion. It's almost as if Cody realized last night, wow, it's all that it's cracked up to be.
And what I loved about that segment, there's a lot to love. I love that Cody said that me and my peers chasing you. And then CM Punk being a ghost, being gone for the 10 years. And here's the difference between what Seth said about those 10 years and what Cody said about those 10 years. What Cody said about those 10 years that he was gone is like, even though you were gone, we were still chasing you. People were still chanting your name. And then we didn't have a chance to catch up because you weren't there. We're chasing a ghost. But this is what it changed and how it changed and why the dynamic is completely changed. Is that I'm no longer chasing you. Now you're chasing me. I loved it. And what they were able to do in that conversation is that's what I want to see CM Punk win the Royal Rumble on Saturday. Not only got me to watch the Royal Rumble, it got me to want CM Punk to win the Royal Rumble so that we see that matchup at WrestleMania.
I think the WWE is doing a great job of taking us into the mind of everybody who wants to win the Rumble, whether that's Cena, whether that's Roman, whether that's Punk, whether that's Drew, anybody who's entering the Rumble, they're giving us a reason why they are there. What's their motivation? When this segment was over, other than the beginning of Punk telling Cody why he would not be able to sleep at night, nothing really was that big of a deal for me. It was more of the tone and the feeling that I got. It was the conversational. It was Cody's demeanor of seeming very defeated and very down and almost exhausted. The grind of the WWE, the grind of maintaining friendships and holding that championship and what it was doing to him. But guess what, Dave? It does not matter what the words are when the feeling at the end of the promo is exactly what you just mentioned. I want Punk and Cody. As of last night, I think I want Punk and Cody more than I want Cody and Roman, more than I want Cody and Cena, more than I would want Cody and Randy. I don't think that there's anybody that I'd rather see main event WrestleMania more than Cody Rhodes and CM Punk right now.
I agree with you. And again, my opinion might change, but after what I saw last night, right now, because the feelings are still there from, because it's less than 24 hours ago, I think I'd rather see Cody and Punk than Cody and Rock.
If Rock is not at the Rumble, I would be willing to bet $1 that we're not seeing Rock for Mania.
I agree with you. I think we can close that book once we get past the Royal Rumble. But I was wondering all this time, how are you going to have WrestleMania 41 without The Rock? You can have WrestleMania 41 without The Rock. That's what they were able to do last night on Monday Night Raw.
After the last time we saw The Rock, I have no reason to want to see him anymore in that role. The only thing I would want to see Rock do is impose his will as an uber heel, a la a Mr. McMahon character. Anything other than that, no thank you.
And even now with the emergence of Jacob Fatu, when it comes to Roman, after what we saw on that first Monday Night Raw on Netflix, I don't think I need to see Roman in the ring with Rock right now. It's a disconnect for me. Unless they tell me some kind of story to get me connected again, I think we saw the end of that story on that debut episode of Raw on Netflix.
Other than The Rock entering at number 31, like if Roman were to win and Rock changed the rules and entered at 31 or something crazy like that. You know, last night I was thinking about that idea that I threw out there again, and I'm just going to say I really like the idea because it paints one hell of a picture. Do I think it's going to happen? No, but oh my God, what if it did? What if we had? And somebody said something to me on social media last night, Dave, and I don't know if right. Did Heyman in his promo in any way allude to Brock?
No, it was brought up to Heyman. Who brought up Brock to Heyman? Oh, it was Drew. Drew brought up the Beast. He said about the Beast. So, it was brought up by Drew McIntyre last night.
Just, listen, if they don't want you to remember, they won't remind you. Last night, they reminded us about Brock Lesnar. Who knows? That favor is still out there.
And they reminded us of the favor several times on Monday Night Raw last night.
Correct. The favor was thrown out there.
Yeah. So, is that going to come to play? Now, you're not going to need that favor if CM Punk wins the Rumble on Saturday. CM Punk wins the Rumble on Saturday. It's him and Cody. You don't need that favor. But they reminded you of the favor. So maybe they have a different plan coming out of Saturday other than CM Punk. Though, Bully, the fans are going to want to see CM Punk win that Rumble.
Because of how strong last night was. And that's the go-home promo for the Rumble on the Raw side. If anybody other than Punk wins, do they get booed?
Well, I want to say, and I'll use Roman Reigns as the example. If Roman Reigns won the Rumble on Saturday, would you get some boos because the fans would want CM Punk? I'm going to hold off that answer until I see SmackDown on Friday. Last night was for Punk. Friday is going to be for Roman. We might have a completely different picture in our head after we watch SmackDown on Friday night, Bully.
Going to be important to watch it, no doubt.